This is the Uptick Newswire Stock Day podcast, sponsored by InvestorsHangout.com. Subscribe to us on iTunes, Google Play, and YouTube to stay up to date on penny stock news and interviews, public information on OTC, pink sheets, and microcap stocks from around the world, with your host, Everett Jolly.
On today's show, we have a returning company. They were on the show back in November of 2017. We're talking about Avivagen. They trade on the OTC markets under the ticker symbol CHEXF. They also trade on the TSX Venture under the ticker symbol VIV. And with us today is the CEO of the company, Kym Anthony. Kym, welcome back to the show.
Well, it's a pleasure to be back with you.
You know, give my listeners a little bit about statement of, what you guys do up there and what's your claim to fame.
Well, the product actually was discovered by our National Research Council in Canada, scientists about 15 years ago. And since then, we've spent a lot of money researching what the product does, the ubiquitous nature of the product, and its effect on animals. And it has grown to be quite a profound series of discoveries about how this product enhances the immune system of all forms of animals, any animal with an immune system, and also it reduces inflammation. And so the main effort in this product is threefold. Number one, it replaces antibiotics in livestock feed, and that business is growing, and we've gotten regulatory approval in several countries, and we have a growing customer, and then hopefully a growing customer base, which you'll see over the next short while. Number two is a companion animal product endorsed by Cesar Millan in the U.S. and now just recently in Canada, and with sales that we've made in China and Taiwan. And the third, which is still not out there, is a human nutraceutical product, which we are working on behind the scenes.
Well, one of the reasons why I asked you to come back on the show is that time has, went by. I think, like I said, you haven't been on the show in 9 months. I want to get an update on your contract with New Zealand, your contract with the Chinese government, and also the Philippines. So what has transpired since the last time you've been on the show?
Well, there's been many things. It's been a very interesting series of developments as we move from being an R&D company to being a commercial company. If I can take them in reverse order, the Philippines, which was our first market entrance and our main customer there, Unaco, which is a subsidiary of Unilabs, they have grown in their usage from hardly anything up to now it's between 800 kilograms and a ton a month. We delivered 1.2 tons of our product to them in April, and in June another 2.4 tons. And these are all sticky sales, so the usage doesn't go away. Customers really like it. They're replacing, as each of their plants runs out of antibiotics, they switch over to an antibiotic-free environment, and our sales grow. So that's been from a ongoing and future business standpoint, that's been a big success. In January, we had press releases that released new applications of our product, and we had a really striking set of trials conducted in China and in the Philippines for the use of our product with dairy cows, lactating dairy cows, and lactating sows. And in each case, the bacteria level in the milk, in the mother's milk, went down. The mothers had improved health, particularly in dairy cows with respect to mastitis. And in the lactating sows, the litters were all bigger, healthier, less diarrhea. Sorry for the expressions, but generally overall a much healthier mother and litter, which is a new application for our product. The other things, as we mentioned, we reconfirmed our registration in Thailand. We signed an agreement with BIS and one of their subsidiaries called Faith a very large distribution company. We retained a full-time distribution consultant in Southeast Asia, and hopefully over the next couple of months, we'll see significant progress there. We're doing trials with prospective customers. Everybody's very happy. We have restructured our China joint venture. There'll be news coming out over that, and which will put us in a very good position. In May of this year, we announced the approval of our product for all applications, livestock and companion animal, by New Zealand, which is really the gold standard in Australasia. And they have a very large dairy industry, and that was a significant help for us as we're moving forward with our applications in a number of other countries, and I'll come back to that. And the other country that actually approved us, which is probably one of the two hardest countries in the world, is Canada. Approved us for the companion animal product, and so our Vivamune product will be available in Canada very shortly. The other things that we've worked on is increasing our number of countries that we've applied to. So we are in the middle of applications in Mexico. We're close to the end in Vietnam. We're in South Korea. We're in Brazil. I mentioned that we're in the process with the regulators in the United States and Russia.
That's awesome.
So we're putting a lot of energy and resources into both client development and regulatory development, and with each approval and with each new customer, it becomes easier for the next one. Not surprisingly.
The last time you were on the show, you guys were in your pre-revenue mode. Now you have revenues coming in. What can we expect, or what do you think you'll accomplish here in the next 6 months?
Well, I think, our year end is October 31, and I think this year we should be, and I'm very reticent about forward looking, but
right.
With the announcements we've made, you can see that we're probably in about that $1 million range. The US dollar range, and that will, in the revenues that we have are sticky, and with each new customer, it's a significant growth. So the pathway towards profitability is not yet done, but it's going in the right direction, and it's on its way. So that over the next year or so, we should be in pretty good shape.
Avivagen is the company that we're highlighting today here on Stock Day. You've been listening to the CEO of the company, Kym Anthony. You can find him on the TSX Venture under the ticker symbol VIV. You can also find him on the OTC market under the ticker symbol CHEXF. So what are your biggest challenges facing the company going forward?
Well, it's keeping a strict discipline in which countries we're spending our money on in terms of the regulatory process. You'll notice that I did not mention Europe. It's very expensive and long-term. If we have one of the parties that we're talking to offer to pay for it and put it in their hands, we would do it. With the other countries, we have a partner in each country, but we're basically handling it. And so, keeping disciplined, making sure that we generate enough cash that's not a concern. We will probably have to come back to market depending on how many warrants are exercised over the next 6 to 8 months. So sometime in 2019, we'll have to come back to market, I would expect, unless we have some unexpected happy news. And that's always a bit of a challenge, but that's what early stage companies go through. And with every passing quarter, we're less of an early stage company. So I would say that's the biggest thing. We've got a great team. We're adding people selectively in different countries to help us with business development and regulatory development. So it's really just staying on track and staying disciplined. And I think it's going to be a very happy ending for all of our shareholders and employees.
I want my listeners to take a look at this company. I think they're just at the very beginning of their yield curve line. I think they're going to explode here in the next 3 to 12 months. You can find them on the OTC markets under the ticker symbol CHEXF, also on the TX Venture under the ticker symbol VIV. In closing, Kym, is there anything we didn't get a chance to touch upon that you would like to illustrate to my listeners?
No, I think the thing I would focus on is that we have all the science behind us. We have 26 plus trials in different species, including humans, and that you will see us. So there's no question that the product works. It's a matter of when we get approved and when we get integrated into the feed programs of each incremental country. And hopefully we'll see how it works on the human nutraceutical side, which is another whole story that I'd love to come back and tell when it happens.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure to have you on my show. I wish you nothing but continued success. Hopefully you'll come back on in 50 or 60 days and give us an update what's going on.
We'll see. I'd love to. Thank you.
This program is entirely sponsored and produced by Uptick Newswire LLC, which is responsible for the content. The opinions and information provided on this program are those of the guests and those of the respective companies they represent, and do not necessarily reflect those of the staff or management of Uptick Newswire. Uptick Newswire encourages all listeners of this program to do their due diligence and research when determining investment strategies that will work for them, or to seek the assistance of an investment professional. The guests of this program may have paid for its distribution and are not directly affiliated with Uptick Newswire or this station.